We have a question from Jacob. It's the longest question. Um, I won't even do the context. Jacob is in the United States Army, and there's a sense that they're not organizing things very well at all, and I understand that um, he's in a group, a smallish group, and they're supposed to be getting ready for this test, but they don't feel like they're doing a very good job. So from 6:30 to 7:30 every day, they have PT session. Given this slot each day, what would ideal week be? Well, it's pretty simple. I always think there's value for the military in a weekly long run. And I got to tell you, just show up and do more like that Swedish word fartlek. Maybe you get there at 6:30. You start off with a walk. Maybe do it like a PAR course, PAR course, where you throw in randomly for the first 15 minutes. A pull up, a V up on the ground, squat thrust, which some people call burpees. It could be something like that. It could be step ups on benches. It could be just something. And then, increase the run. Maybe every time you come to a hill, you sprint up the hill. On flats, maybe one of you just, blows a whistle, randomly. And when the whistle blows, you go hard. And then when the whistle blows, you stop. Throw in some walking sessions. Just go, have a 1 hour run and mix walking, sprinting, running. I'm not a big fan of that. If you've seen someone jog, not that. I want you to run for about that hour. And we're not necessarily trying to kill ourselves in this, but have a long run that's mixed with things. Okay, so that's 1 day a week. 1 day a week, I'd love to have you guys do what we call a tonic day. That would be an hour of mobility, flexibility. And I know the military doesn't support this kind of thing. This might be the good day because it is kind of a, maybe that would be the tonic day. Maybe you still should have a warm up, but really focus maybe on the throwing events and the PT test, and maybe like a farmer walk, loaded carry. So yeah, so you show up, you play with the medicine balls for, we have a game called Ultimate, where we play ultimate frisbee, but we play it with medicine balls. Same rules. It's hilarious. If you have a 4-pound Dynamax ball, that's the only one. That's the one I recommend the most. It's the safest. But you could probably do anything, and it involves a lot of throwing and running and laughing, and it's a great warm up. Hell, do that for half an hour. But then if you went for 15 minutes of just basic throwing from the chest, overhead, feet together, left foot forward, right foot forward, do all the variations you can, overhead tosses. Again, if you want to do feet together, left foot forward, right foot forward, you do get a little bit of that rotation. I'm not a huge fan of a ton of rotation in medicine ball throwing. Obviously, there's need for some of it, but that'd be individual according to what you would need. And then maybe, you do a few rounds of I go, you go, farmer walks, and then hop on the ground and do your mobility, your original strength, your flexibility work or whatever, and call it a day. So the one long run day with the variations in it, the one day with the med ball work and the loaded carries with mobility, and then the other 3 days I would try to set up some kind of traditional program. I hate to say the workout generator, but you could do worse than that. But I'd love to see you guys lift weights. I would always recommend with the military a vertical press, a vertical pull because of the pull-up test. I would love to see a squat variation in there. I'd love to see a hinge variation in there. And for you guys, suitcase carries 3 days a week would not be over the top. Week 1, maybe, you could do 3 sets of 8. Week 1, week 2, 3 sets of 10. Week 3, 3 sets of 12. Slide down to 5 sets of 3, then 3 sets of 5, and then 5 sets of 5. There's a good 6 week. There you go. 6 weeks of military. 3 sets of 8 military. It's going to do some good things for hypertrophy. 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12. That's good for hypertrophy. And then you increase the load the next couple of weeks, and then that hard 5x5. on the 5x5 week, you might only get the lifts in, but that's okay because you sped up on the other days. And then on those 3 days, I would pick one of your new events and practice the event. So you could do, so today is push-up practice day. Don't just test it. You could do something, think of it as a track practice, do like in the push-up test, do a couple rounds of 15 seconds, maybe 4 times 15 seconds, and try to go fast on those push-ups. The next week, do 3 rounds of 30 seconds, and then play around with even a more extended period, and on the pull-ups, if your best is 10 pull-ups, have a day where you do, 10 sets of 2 or 10 sets of 3 or something like that. So a lot of volume with very, very low intensity, so you can come back and keep doing it. So one long run day with a lot of variation, with some calisthenics in it, with some sprinting, with some walking. One day of the med ball work, loaded carry, and then the tonic stuff. And then 3 days of traditional weightlifting, but practice the tests. The nice thing about your new tests, the new tests are, to me, much more logical. And the actual practicing of the tests is going to be good for you in every endeavor you look at. One of my friends is a Green Beret. And when I did the workshop in, it was either Seattle, Hawaii, or Okinawa, one of the 3, he came up after and he showed me all these pictures of them in the field, actual deployment pictures. And he said, I don't know why we do all these pull-ups, because all we ever do in the real world is loaded carries. And I thought that was kind of funny. The thing they'd never done is their job title. It'd be like being an American football coach and never practicing ball control, tackling, and blocking, which of course is the core of the game, or being a discus thrower and never doing full turns. I hope that helps, Jacob. If you want more, you contact me and we can have a phone call. Okay, thanks.